want to say hello to everybody. Janet, thanks for joining, and everybody who's just watching the recorded. This is a Google Calendar training. We'll be going over things like how to create an event, how to invite other folks to an event. We'll even check out how to invite them with a Zoom link. Additionally, we'll be able to edit events on our calendar and look at other people's calendars to see if they're free or busy. That might help us create a meeting for the both of us to meet. Okay, I'm going to share my screen now, and we're going to get started. And I'm going to minimize my windows. So this is my desktop, and I'm just simply going to start by opening up a new window. This new window, I'm going to, I can go to my Google Calendar by two ways. Well, actually, maybe I should ask Janet. Janet, by opening up a new window, how do you get to your Google Calendar?
Well, there's an icon on the right of my desktop. And so I typically click on that, the Google menu, I guess you'd say, and then I click on Calendar. That's how I get in.
Is it this one, the Google Apps here?
Let me just move the pictures here. Yes.
Okay. Yes, exactly. From this like Google Apps grid right here.
Google Apps. Okay.
You can click Google Calendar right here, and that would take you to your calendar. Another way of doing it is by typing calendar.google.com. If I can spell calendar, that would be great. So yes, a couple ways of doing that.
Okay.
Calendar. Oh, I misspelled Google.
Google. Yeah.
There we go. And then it'll take me to my calendar. So here I am. And so just wanted to sort of get familiar with Google Calendar here. So this is how my calendar currently looks like. That's somebody else entering. Hey, Shelly, good to see you. And so currently I have what is called a week view of my calendar. Now, how do you know it's a week view? It's because it takes you through the entire week from Sunday through Saturday. And if I wanted to, and so at the top of this screen here, you can see that it has the calendar, it has the main menu on the left here that it already pops up here, and it has this smaller calendar view with all the dates. Now, if I wanted to go to the next week, I would click the arrows here. I'm selected on today. Today always brings me back to the current day, to the current week view. That's a nice button to press if you ever get lost. If you ever click on the next week and then you find yourself kind of like 3 weeks down or something, you can always click on today.
Okay.
And get back to your daily view here. Now, moving to the right here, we can always most of the Google Workspace, like Google Docs and Google Sheets and stuff like that, have a search button here. And so the search button allows me to find, to search for things within my calendar. So this would be helpful for like things like meetings. An example, if I wanted to search for a meeting I had with somebody, a client named Jennifer, I would type in maybe her name or a keyword and then click enter. And then sure enough, it says what comes up is are two things here. One of them is an older one, so it'll bring up previous dates, but the one that is coming up is a call with Jennifer scheduled for today. So that's just a way to use the search button there. And you can even get more specific. You can search in a specific calendar, like the ICS calendar or somebody else's calendar. And then here are the keywords that you would enter to search if you wanted to get more specific. But just by hitting on the search button there, that would probably take you to where you wanted to go. Okay, so I'm going to go back here. And the way I did that was simply by clicking the left arrow here at the top left, and that would take me back to the main calendar view. And the support button is always good in case you need training for Google Calendar updates or something like that. And then the settings, this little gear button right here allows you to change a lot of your settings, such as the language, the time zone. Currently, I have Pacific time and also Central time because I live in Wisconsin, so it's good to see that. And you can also switch things like alerts or just different sort of setting options here. Always good to explore the settings. Okay, so
sorry, does it do that automatically? The fact that you're in Central time zone, does that, or do you have to do the settings? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, so I went into my settings. And then so I chose to display a secondary time zone. And that secondary time zone is this Central time right here.
Oh, okay.
If I unclick this, then it won't display any. It'll just display my primary time zone, which I have it set to California.
Yeah.
I could easily change that as well.
Okay.
All right, and then, so I'm gonna go back. And if I wanted to change this view, instead of seeing like the whole week, I just want to see just my day, I would click on day. So right next to this gear is this little box that allows you to switch your view from day view, which is today's Thursday, to week view, which I just had. You can do month view and so forth and so on. If you just wanted to see the sort of meetings that you had, you can click on schedule, and that would only show you a list of the upcoming meetings, sort of these, the days that have your meeting set. So you can see some days are skipped here because I don't have meetings all day, or every day, I should say. All right, I'm gonna go back to my week view, and like just looking at this, the left side of this is obviously a smaller calendar. It's all of February, and if you click on the arrows next to the month, the right one will take you to the next month, and the left one will take you to the previous month. You can even click on one of the dates. Let's say I wanted to schedule something for the 15th. I would just click on the number 15 right here, and it would take me to the week view of where the 15th is, and then I can check out how my schedule looks like. And then again, if I wanted to go back, I'd just click on today and that would take me back. Now, moving down, if I wanted to search, meet with somebody, let's say I wanted to schedule a meeting with you, Janet, I could search for you and say, Janet. And then that would bring up your calendar. So this is currently your calendar right here.
Okay.
And the reason why that's great is because it allows me to see, oh, if I want to schedule a meeting with Janet tomorrow, what time would she be free? So long as your calendar is updated, then that would be relatively easy for me to do. I could say, oh, looks like Jan and I are both free tomorrow at 9 o'clock.
Right.
I would send you a meeting invite. Or you can have more than one person. Let's say Shelly, me, you, and Shelly wanted to meet up. Well, here's Shelly's meeting stacked on top of my calendar and your calendar, and it looks like we all have 9 o'clock as a free time also. So that's just one way to take a look at other people's calendars and sort of use that to schedule meetings. So as you can see, if I scroll down a little bit more, I have my calendars here. It looks like this is my main calendar. I have birthdays if I wanted to. I must have created something. I must have at some point created a birthdays calendar with people's birthdays. And then and if I wanted to hide this, because maybe this list is too long or busy, I could, right next to my calendar is this little arrow right here that I can click on, and that'll minimize the calendar. Same thing with other calendars. I could minimize both of these calendars, and then I have a much smaller screen to work with, or I could expand them. And so moving on, other calendars are maybe these calendars that I've added to my, I've worked with Gabe a lot and I've worked with Josh a lot. So I kind of just added their calendars to my my view, so that maybe if I wanted to schedule a meeting with Josh, I could easily view his calendar. Instead of having to search for him all the time, I just have it stored here. And the way you would do that is there's a right next to other calendars is a plus sign, and it says add other calendars. So you would click on it, and then you would subscribe to a calendar. You would click on subscribe to a calendar, and then it would ask you what calendar do you want to add calendar, and maybe I would want to add Janet's because we're working a lot, we're meeting. So I just added her calendar, and I can take a look, and it says she's the owner. Her permission settings are anyone can see nothing, and then here's sort of her calendar URL if I needed it for some reason. Maybe I wanted to send it to somebody. So if I go back by pressing this left arrow at the top left of my screen next to settings, I can see that Janet's calendar has been added in this sort of lime green. And then sure enough, it's under other calendars. There it is. And if I didn't want to see your calendar anymore, I could just click it, or check it off again, and it would hide.
Okay.
And so, yeah, those are ways in which you can view other people's calendar, compare it to yours, and create a meeting with others.
Okay.
Any questions on those? Just wonder if Shelley, did you have any questions or anything? She might be muted. I'm not sure. Let's see. I think you're muted, Shelley. Okay, well, that's okay. Okay, so we're gonna move on to creating a meeting or setting up. Oh, looks like you're unmuted now, Shelley. We can
Oh,
hear you.
okay.
Just wanted to ask you if there was any questions or anything specific about Google Calendar that you wanted to ask about.
No, I think this one, yeah, kind of little okay. I
Okay.
don't use it too much, but yeah, calendar's gonna.
Okay,
Thank you.
sure. So moving on, if I wanted to now create an event for myself or others, the way I would do that, actually, maybe I should ask Janet or Shelley. Looking at my screen, can you guys take me through what you would do if you wanted to add an event, a meeting?
Well, I would go to create on the upper left corner.
Okay, so on the upper left corner, perfect. That's one way of doing it. You could click create. And then you would, let's say, title this, right, Janet?
Right, yeah, just,
Or Janet and Alex meeting. And then what would you do next?
find a time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, click on that. And then find a time. I don't know, drop down? I'm not sure.
Yeah, so you would, so this kind of like refers you to your current calendar, right? And then yeah, you would find a time, and let's say Friday at 9 a.m. worked. You know, I could click on Friday at 9 on my weekly view here.
Mm-hmm.
Or I could, I'm sorry, that's Friday at 7, Friday at 9, there it is. Or I could select, I could click on the date or the time and on the little window here
Mm-hmm.
and sort of do that. And so, yeah, if I wanted to add the guest would be Janet, and I would, yeah, I would add. So yeah, so that's how you would find the time. You would first need to add the guest, you know, so like,
Okay.
you know, you would add the guest and then it would show you their calendar. And then from there, you could kind of click again your screen of any blank area where you guys are both free, or you could click on the suggested times, which tells you the times that you guys are both available.
Okay.
And then from here, you could invite them through Google Video is the sort of standard that comes with Google, but you can also add a Zoom meeting, and I'll show you guys how to do that in a second after we just cover the basics here. And so I forgot to, before that, if we just wanted to meet this one time, Janet, then it's important to make sure that we have does not repeat. So this
Right.
meeting will not repeat. If we wanted it to repeat, let's say on weeklies, weekly on Friday, and we would click that, or monthly on the first Friday, daily. Those are the options there. And then, if I wanted to change permissions, if I wanted to allow Janet to modify this event, I could give her permission to do that.
What does that mean? I could comment and say, no, I don't want to meet at 10. Let's make it 10:15. Is that?
Yeah, exactly. You could sort of change the meeting if you wanted to.
Okay.
Which is kind of nice, because then, like, let's say I just threw you a time. I said, you know what, Janet seems free at 9. I didn't really ask you, but I just saw your calendar, which is an okay thing to do, right?
Mhm.
And then I just sent it to you. By allowing you to modify this event,
Okay.
it would allow you to say, well, not even though I'm free at 9, actually 9:15 would be perfect for me. So
Got
then
it.
I could change it to 9:15. So the modify event is a good thing to check off.
Good.
If you don't have, like for this meeting, if I'm doing a training, I don't really want people to modify my event, so I probably would check it
Yeah.
a bit blank like that. Okay, and then add rooms. You usually don't need to do that. But you could add a location. Let's say if you, if you were meeting with a coworker or a friend at the movie theater, I think there's a San Rafael. What's the San Rafael movie theater? It's like the Rafael or something.
Smith
No.
Ranch Road, what's it, Cinemark? I don't know if that's the name.
It's just called Norgate.
Oh, Northgate.
Northgate, there you go.
Yeah, so Northgate, maybe mall. I'm not seeing, it's not popping up, but if you had,
No. Ahí está. There you go. Okay, you gotta put Norgate San Rafael.
Northgate,
San Rafael Norgate, something like that.
and
Norgate Mall.
here you go, Northgate Drive. There you go.
Oh,
So
Norgate Drive.
you would click on it, and then that would give the Google directions to the person. Let's say your coworkers or a friend that was going to join you there. They could easily open up their email and click on the directions and open up Google
Okay.
Maps. And then this is sort of if you want to add a description. Let's say I wanted to say, hey, Janet, don't forget to bring a jacket or something.
Mhm.
Or, you could even have this almost like a full email, if it like maybe an agenda for, this Google meeting. We're gonna learn how to invite, and then sort of like that. So sort of this invitation can have a very formal setup here. Create a meeting note if you want it. And then you can also add an attachment, a PDF or something. Maybe your agenda, you'd like to have it in the form of a PDF, or you have some document that you want them to fill out before. This sort of just changes the color of the meeting if you want to do that. And then busy makes this meeting mean that you're busy, right? It's going to be in the dark color there. Otherwise, if you made it free, then you would tell, if somebody else saw that you had a meeting with, let's say Jan and I had a meeting, but it said I was still free, maybe that would indicate that it was sort of loose, or I was still available. Maybe they could join the meeting or something like that. And if I wanted to make, and so the next button here is default, is the privacy. So the default visibility is that everybody in the ICS network can see it. If I wanted to make it public to everybody outside of ICS, I could do that. Or if I wanted to make it private, meaning only I saw it on my calendar, if Janet was looking at my calendar, she wouldn't see it. This could be helpful for something for yourself. Like if I wanted to create an event saying like, take a walk. I wanted to remind myself to take a walk at 9 o'clock. Maybe I don't want everybody to see that, so I'm going to make that private. And then this is a notification. I like it to be at 10 minutes. Some people like it 2 minutes or 5 minutes, or some people like a notification a day before. You can add more than one notification. And then lastly, there are more options, but these are the basic ones. And if you click more options, it'll take you to a bigger screen where you can edit a little bit more. But lastly, what you would do is save this. And once you save it, a screen is going to pop up that says, would you like to send these invitation emails to your Google Calendar guests? And you can click send. Yeah, if you want to give them a reminder, an email, usually that's the standard to do, is to send them a reminder. If you didn't want to for some reason, they already knew the time and date and all that, then you just click don't send. Okay, so
Just have a quick question before we move on. The default setting, would that be like an FYI to someone, like they're not available, but just want you to know I'm meeting with Alex? How would you use the default? I'm not clear on that.
Okay, give me 1 second. The default, you meant like the
Yeah, that was one of the drop downs you mentioned. Somebody might be available. I mean, is that kind of like just for your information, if you can hop on for 10 minutes? Alex and I are meeting in this time period. Yeah, where is it? Yeah, it was
are you talking
one.
about free?
Yeah, default. Yeah. Oh, maybe
Oh, default visibility.
visibility.
Okay. This default visibility is sort of the default of what Google Calendar shows is that like everybody can view this event. So like if you decided to look for, let's say, Shelley's calendar and she had a meeting that she wrote down, the default would be that everybody could see it. Now, if you didn't want to have everybody see it, if Shelley didn't want to have everybody see, like, let's say one of her meetings, let's say she wanted to take a walk and remind herself, she would make it private.
So is default the same as public then?
Yeah, it's kind of the same.
Okay, that's probably all I need to
Yeah.
know. Okay, I just wondered if it was different.
Right. I think public makes it public to not just people in the ICS network, but maybe public to everybody outside. I'm not really sure why you'd want to do that. Maybe there's people outside of your network you want to share it with. But that's about it for that. For creating a meeting. Let's discard this one. And so if I wanted to, and so yes, Janet, you said you can create a meeting by clicking on this create. Another way of doing it would be to double click on the box or the time frame that you want to create a meeting.
Okay.
So if Janet and I wanted to meet at 9 a.m. on Friday, here's Friday and here's 9 a.m. and I would double click and it would have that same window to create an event. Or you can just click once and then sort of create, has a smaller window. The smaller window is kind of convenient, so you can still view other stuff. But those are a couple ways of doing it. And then what I also wanted to show you guys was, especially now that, we're working remotely a lot, Zoom has been a very popular form of communicating, as we're doing right now. And often you'll see that you get a Zoom invite, you get a Google Calendar invite with a Zoom link attached to it, right? Now, an easy way of doing that is by adding the Zoom, sort of like a Zoom app on your calendar. And the way you would do that, so to the right of this, to the right of your calendar of your week view is this bar right over here. Everybody see this bar?
Mm-hmm.
So this bar has things like keep. I have my tasks on here. I'm going to click on it real quick just to show you. So so all the Google workspaces have like, well, most of them have this little bar that I just clicked on, and I use this to take, it's kind of like my to-do list. Like you can see, I have explore North Star with work, view digital Marin video, email Eric and Jesse. So these are my to-do list items. I'm going to X out of this. So this is what task does. This is your contacts. And I don't have that set up. But anyways, the point of that is because all the way at the bottom here, it says get add-ons. So if you click this little plus sign, it will take you to another window that allows you to add on applications that are compatible with Google Calendar. And it's almost like the App Store in your iPhone or your computer or something. And as you can see, Zoom for G Suite is a popular one that comes up. If it didn't come up, you could always search for it in the search bar right here and simply type in Zoom, enter, and then sure enough, it's right here, Zoom. And as you can see, mine's already installed, but let's say if, I had a different, something like this app isn't installed for me. So I would click on it, and then it would take me to the description of this application, sort of an overview of what it does, very similar to the app store on your phone. And then you can install it, right? So I've already installed the Zoom one. I can uninstall it, but I'm not going to do that. So if you wanted to add Zoom meetings pretty easily with people, we just learned how to create an event and add people, send them email. Now, if you wanted to send them a Zoom link and a description of the Zoom ID and meeting number, and this is a great way of doing that, is by adding this add-on or this app. Okay, now that I've added it, I'm going to close out of this and show you guys what that did. So going back, yes, did somebody had a question?
No, I thought you were gonna say if you wanna put Zoom on the calendar, you can click to time those two or not.
What do you mean?
Just an example, if you have Zoom meeting on Saturday,
Yeah.
instead to go to create it, can I just go, lo que tú dijiste, voy al sábado y cliqueo ahí 2 veces y ya me sale el Zoom meeting, o tengo que hacer todo lo anterior?
Esto es para crear un Zoom meeting. Entonces, tienes que hacer todo lo que hicimos anterior.
Okay.
La única diferencia es que aquí a donde hay una flecha,
Ujú.
va a decir Zoom meeting.
Oh,
Entonces,
okay.
tú,
Ahí cliqué donde dice
yeah,
Zoom meeting.
sí, ahí
Ah.
clic y después te va a dar esa información. So I was just telling Shelly, Janet, that we would do the exact same thing. If we wanted to create a meeting, we would do the exact same thing, either create or click on the time and date. And then the only difference is here that you would just click on that Zoom meeting. So right under add guests, instead of add Google Meeting video conference, you'd click on the arrow and it would have a Zoom meeting that you would click on. And then by doing that, it would populate a Zoom meeting link, an ID, and a passcode. And then you could send, once you click on save, that would send it to the person.
Okay, that's good to know. I would assume you'd have to go into Zoom and initiate a meeting, but you can do it right from the calendar, which is good to know.
Yes, you can do it right. That's the exact point of this is you can create a Zoom meeting right from the calendar instead of some people usually might, I'm just going to show you as an example, go to Zoom. Can you guys see this?
Mhm.
Yeah, so this is my Zoom application on my computer. Now, if I wanted to create a meeting with, let's say, Shelly, I would probably go to schedule and then create a meeting on here and all this stuff. And then maybe I would copy the link and send it to her or add it on calendar. But what I just showed you is that you can create it from your Google Calendar.
That's great.
And then you can join from your Google Calendar too. So I'm sure you guys do this all the time, for like the employment staff meeting, right? You click on it and then it says join
Right.
the Zoom meeting, or you click on the link. So that's how they do it. That's
Mhm.
the way that I just showed you is the way that they would do it.
Okay.
Mhm. And so that's the Zoom stuff there, joining a meeting. I'm trying to think if there's anything else with Google Calendars. Shelly, did you have anything else? Did I answer your question?
Um, well, yes, yes, yes. I try to get the more easy because I don't use too much the app, but yes, I have an idea.
Okay, I'm gonna pull up your calendar just as an example. So like, this is your calendar here, you
Mhm.
know, and then yeah, so we could see that, you know, if we wanted to meet, it would be around this time. Anything in white, and then, you know, I can see that you're busy from tomorrow from 12:30 to 3:30. Okay. Let's see. That might be it for this Google Calendar training. I can't think of anything else really.
Oh,
Right.
this was good. Yeah, good.
Mhm.
Very
Yeah, it
helpful.
was short, sweet.
No, Google's map, Google's.
Yeah. And if you ever, I'm trying to think of maybe one more thing right here. If you ever needed to send like a meeting to somebody else, let's say I had a meeting with somebody and I wanted to send it to Janet. So she had it. You can always go to, you can click on the meeting and then you can, right at the top right, where it says edit event or delete event, there's 3 buttons. It says options. And you can publish the event. You can click on publish event, and then I can copy the link to this meeting. I can copy it, and then I can send it to Janet, maybe through the chat or through an email. Let's see, if I stop share, then I can paste it, and you can see that it's in the chat, and then that's the link to the events
Oh, okay.
that you could send. So that's just something else there. But yeah, that covered everything, folks. I appreciate
Great.
your guys' time. It was there.